Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. So let me scroll here. Do we see 10 a.m. tomorrow, the DSA assessment is due? Are we all able to see that? So if we click on that, if we click on tomorrow's date, right, 10 a.m., click on it. And go ahead, I need to do this part, open link in new tab. Click on clone this repo, the link that says clone this repo, click on it. Does it give you a 404 error? Greg?
Yeah, that's a 404 error for me.
Okay, cool. So let me make that public and then we will let me make this public. The sound of that water is very therapeutic. All right. If you refresh the link, it should now be public. I'll wait for confirmation.
Yep, it's public.
All right, awesome. So that's one part of the assessment we have. We have the questions. Next part, let us click on the DSA, go back to Canvas, go back to Canvas, go back to the 31st, go back to where it says 10 a.m. DSA assessment, click on that. Click on the top heading that says DSA assessment, click on that. That might take a while to load as well. If anybody loads for you, let me know.
Loaded for me.
It loaded for you.
Yep.
Brendan, do you see a start taking quiz now or whatever button in?
Yeah, there's a button that says take quiz at the bottom of the page.
All right, awesome. So when we log in, we'll see that button that says take quiz. For me, it doesn't say take quiz because I'm an administrator. But what I'll do, I'll click on the preview button to see the same screen that you guys are seeing. So everybody make sure that when you get in here, it says take quiz, right? I will click on preview. That's going to take a while to render.
Oh, wait. So, sorry, you said to go to where it says the 10 a.m. assessment.
Yeah, click on, so the 10 a.m. assessment, click on the 10 a.m. assessment. When you click on the header, it should take you to the area that says take quiz.
Got you.
All right. All right, so my quiz opened up, right? My quiz opened up. Now let's just walk through this briefly, and then we'll go to the repo and the instructions for the repo. Everybody, yes?
Copy.
All right, awesome. So question one, traverse a linked list, right? I'm gonna go through the questions here. Traverse a linked list, what does that mean? Go through the linked list and print out each value, okay? The values are looking like this, right? So I go through a linked list, I create a linked list of those numbers. You could create a linked list of whatever values you want, very similar to what we've been doing. So far, so good? And then what I wanna do is go through the linked list and print the values, okay? As far as the formatting is concerned, you don't need to have a leading arrow here, but ideally you want to have an arrow between each value and you want to have nil at the end, okay? So ideally you want to write a function that takes in some linked list and it just prints out the values of it, right? I know we've used description in class, but I'll probably just write a function for that, okay? Next up, we have question 2, array of occurrence filtering. Write a function that takes in an array of integers, right? And a number. Your function should return an array with only numbers appearing n or more, right? N or more times. Your solution must take linear time. What does linear time mean? I'm going through the array once, right? Or I'm going through a collection once. I'm not going through a collection, I'm going through a collection, I'm going through a collection. Stop me if there's anything that's ambiguous as we go through those. Question 3, write a function sum that takes a stack of numbers as input and returns the sum of the elements, okay? So I have a stack, in that case, I have a stack here, and the summation of them would be 20, So when I go through the stack, I'm adding everything up. At the end, I should get 20.
Alex,
Yes.
do we have to use the stack you guys gave us, or can we make our like own stack struct?
You could make your own stack, but the stack I'm looking at here has a pick. It is a function. We've normally been doing a variable, so that's fine there. You can make a variable or a function for that. You could feel free to have your own stack there. In that case, that stack is generic. Ideally, I want to keep it generic there. Most of the functions are the same functions we've done already.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So question 4. Write a function range. When you hear range, what comes to mind? A range of numbers, right? Right, everybody? Cool. All right. So we have a range of numbers. So in that case, a range is just the actual difference. So write a function range that takes a queue of numbers, different data structure here, a queue data structure, returns the range, right? In that case, the range is not, you're not telling us 0 to 10, right? But you're telling us what the difference is, right? What's the difference between the lowest number and the highest number, okay? In that case here, I have a stack. This is my stack, 4295. The stack is not sorted, but your challenge is to go through the stack, figure out what's the minimum number. In that case, the minimum number is 2. What's the maximum number? The maximum number is 9. Now, 9 minus 2 is 7. So what you want to return from that function is 7. Say hello and go bye, Billy. Just say hi.
Now it works.
Okay.
Hi.
Now, well, bye, close the door, please. I know she wants the code challenge too. Okay, so the queue range, this is what we're doing, right? And don't get thrown off, right? Don't get thrown off by what this queue is. I did say that our queue, at some point, we will optimize the queue. This is the same queue structure. The only difference with that queue structure, it optimizes the dequeue function here, right? Our dequeue function, we've been doing it linearly. Here, this is more constant, right? So just use the queue as you would normally use a queue. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So again, don't be like, oh, I've never seen this or whatever, right? It's a queue, it's a basic queue. I enqueue, I dequeue. And one other thing I want to point out here, let's see if it's in here. Right here. There's a function called, not a function, there's a computed property called front. It's the same as peak. Everybody with me? What's that at the front of the line? In that case, it's just called front, but it could have been peak. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the things I want to clarify here so that we don't get, oh, what's happening here? So we know what we're doing for question 4, correct? Okay, awesome. Question 5, find a bug in a commit. Okay, let me walk through this. You are working on a large code base. When you discover a bug, okay, we all have bugs, we discover bugs. You discover a bug, the current commit has the bug. So whatever current commit you're on has a bug, okay? But a commit from several months ago does not, okay? So in the past, there's some commit that doesn't have the bug, right? So you need to figure out where that bug is. Given a sorted, keyword is sorted, given a sorted list of 100 commits, okay, we're just showing you guys 10 commits, but given a sorted list, okay, those are the keywords here. Given a sorted list of 100 commits, write a function that returns an object containing the commit and the index, okay? So what you're returning, what are you returning?
Commit and index.
Commit and index, okay? So we have structures that could return 2 values or 3 values from a function, right? There's structures that could do that. So what we're gonna return, the commit and that index where we found the commit. Your solution must run in log n time. Again, a next clue here, right? What runs log n time, right? I'm going through something, logarithmic time, it calculates the thing, it breaks up the thing, right? Divide and conquer, okay? Solve in your repo, that's fine. So that's the struct here, it's called commit, it has a timestamp, it has a status.
I have a question.
Yes.
So we're just returning the ones that say status bad?
Yes, basically that's the one I just highlighted there. That's the one where that bad commit started.
So we're only returning the first bad commit?
Yes, you're not returning all the rest. You just want to know where it started going bad.
Okay.
And that's why it said it's sorted, because you see it's sorted good, 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 bad, right? If it wasn't sorted, that would be harder,
Okay.
right? Awesome. Good, good, good. So we went through the struct. We have a commit here. That's the object. We have an enum, which is good or bad for this particular status here. And we have the array of commits. The input is an array of commits. Cool? Any questions about question 5? Question 5 might be the place where you guys probably spend the most time there trying to figure that one out. But you guys will be fine. How are we doing? Can I continue? Stop me if there's any question.
Alex,
Yes.
so what does it mean to return a meet or return the object? Or like what exactly you need to return?
I need to return. So for example, I'm going to highlight the one you're returning, right? We know the answer already for this question.
So you're just reading this whole line, not...
I'm returning the line as a commit and an index. What's the index here? What's the
3,
index?
but so your output should be this whole line?
Your output is a commit and an index.
Yeah, I don't really understand it.
Or you could simply do this output here, just say what the commit made 3 seconds after 1970. In that case, it is this one here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go through your array of inputs, Luba. Whichever one you find being that bad commit, the first bad commit, you need to return that index, right? And the commit. So from the commit, I could say commit.timestamp, commit.status to print out this output here.
Mm-hmm.
Cool?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
But it's about the linked list, the first question.
Okay, so we'll come back to question 5, right? So go to question 1. Okay.
Okay, so there's those, that's the given class, but are we supposed to be making different functions to work with it, or we're only using like I don't want to say like I don't know, but because when we did it in class, there were like different functions that we put into another class for it.
Right. So what I'll do here, I'll write a function that takes in a linked list.
A function, okay.
And then it just prints out the values.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't return anything.
Mm-hmm.
It just prints out the values.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Going back to question 5. So Luba, you're returning a commit and an index. Did I freeze?
No.
Okay. All right. So this is the commit here and the index, whatever the index is in that array. Okay. Luba?
I guess okay. I don't know.
No, not guess. I mean, we have to go solve the problem. But the big thing is like, do I understand what I'm doing?
Like this is the array, like all these commits is the array?
Yes, exactly. It's an array of commits.
Okay.
Cool. It's an array of commits is sorted. Keep that in mind. An array of commits, and the key is it's a sorted array. There's something we went through in class that says it only works if it's sorted.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever that thing is, that's what we have to use for that particular problem.
Okay.
Awesome. Question 6, recursive sum. Again, some of those questions, we saw them before. That's why I really don't want to go through the questions there. So implement a function that accepts an array of integers as an argument. The function should return the sum of each integer in the array. Right? Your solution should be recursive. Your function must be pure, meaning I cannot have function definition and outside of the function have a next variable. Everything has to be either in the function or in the function signature, in the parameter list. I went over that last week, especially with a function like binary search, for example. It has the range or whatever. It has that in the function itself. Everybody with me?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Question 1, we did a lot of big old practice last week, so this should be a breeze, correct? Yes? Just be careful there.
Oh, can we go over number 7? I think you guys did that the day that I was.
Yeah, we're gonna go over it, right? You could go back and look at the big O lesson and see if, right? But yeah, we cannot go over that one, right? I'm already going over a lot of things where a code challenge, they just give you the thing and they tell you go solve it.
So the answer to this.
We appreciate you.
What's that, Luba?
The answer to this in Canva.
Yes, so the answer, you put it right below here. Right?
And the other stuff we do on Playground?
In the repo, yeah, you could do it either in Playground, just do it in Playground, I think at this point. But we'll go through that part together. Like we'll clone together, we will create our private repos, we'll add collaborators, and then at that point, we'll be good to go on our own.
We're gonna do that on lecture right now.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
You need your computer? Where is she? She's somewhere nice and beautiful.
Outside is cold.
That's the life. That is the life. Okay, so that's question 7, yes?
Yes.
We'll give Chelsea a second.
It's question 2.
I think Chelsea, I know.
Question
Don't worry about question 2 here. It's question 8.
Canvas.
Alex, I do apologize. My internet was on and off all the time. I missed probably first 4. Was there something important you need to know?
No,
first 4 questions.
No, not really. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Let me just go over it before Chelsea comes
Sorry,
back.
yeah, my Canvas is still loading. I don't know. It's crazy.
Okay, I'm recording it, so I will. Well, we have a day, so that's not really gonna. Question 1: go through a linked list and print out the values.
Okay.
Question 2: using this input, you give us an output of, like, say n here, whatever n is. N is 3, so you need to return occurrences of where n or greater the value appears in the array.
Okay.
Question 3, using recursion, not using recursion, sorry. Just write a function that goes through a stack and returns the sum of the stack.
Sum of the stack, okay.
Question 4, it's use a queue. The queue is given to you. The queue is given to you. You have nothing to write. You just have to write the queue, populate the queue, and figure out what's the minimum value, what's the maximum value, and return the difference. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That takes us to question 5. You saw question 5?
Yeah, I heard. Thank you.
Cool. And then we did 6, we did 7, and now we're going on to 8. So question 8.
Question.
Yeah.
For the occurrences, can we use map?
For the occurrences, you could use anything you want.
Okay.
Okay. There's no restrictions on it, right? There's no restrictions on it. You just have to make sure you write a function.
All right.
Okay. And make sure you write a function that takes in inputs and the outputs. Be very careful here, guys. A lot of times we get code submissions from a question saying, write a function that takes in X and returns Y. We get a solution, there's no function, and there's like variable equal to something. If somebody tells you write a function, please, the first thing you do, write a function that takes in whatever input the person tells you the input is and return whatever the output is at minimum. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so if I say write a function, we want to see a function, okay? Very good. But as far as like what you write inside there, there's no restrictions on that, Kelby?
All right, cool.
All right, cool.
Sorry, should we assume that of all questions that if it doesn't explicitly define restrictions, there are no restrictions in terms of the, okay.
Same as the interview.
Okay.
And then if we go over like a debrief with you tomorrow and say like, hey, how would you do that if you did not use dot reverse, for example?
Got it.
All right, cool.
Sorry, I do have one more thing. Just at the end of this, when you're showing us how to do the repo stuff, would you mind showing us how to, I accidentally deleted my playground that with the split that you split into different files. Remember you were showing us that?
So you want to do one of those things?
Yeah, I couldn't replicate it.
Okay.
You could do that again.
So we'll do that intentionally.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So question 8 here, matching array sorted, right? Just figure out what sorting algorithm this is, right? Like for example, 1, right? That's bubble sort, right? Yes?
Algorithm 1 is like not understandable.
What we have to do, we have to look at the diagram and at the bottom. look at the diagram, and at the bottom, fill
I
out
think
what the sort is.
PNG for the first one is
Okay.
broken.
Is it
Yeah.
broken? It's broken? I'm sorry.
PNG, first algorithm.
Oh. That's weird.
That's okay. You can still solve it, Howard.
That was on there this morning. What happened? Who broke that? How did you break this?
No,
Wait.
that was God telling us that you should have stopped at 7, okay? Instead of 8, 9, and 10.
I
Okay.
just previewed that like a second ago and the thing showed up. Anyway, okay. Antonio, are you able to see it on your screen?
Yes. Sorry?
Okay. Antonio, are you able to see the first algorithm here, the image of it?
Yeah. Hold up. Or 8?
Yeah. 8 algorithm 1.
Yeah, I could see it.
Okay, that might be a canvas thing there. If Antonio sees it, we all see it.
The red and green squares, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's right there.
And it says swap stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't see it, and some fellows don't see it too. So we need to figure it out because I saw it earlier when we went through it. Okay, so this one, you're just matching the diagram with the algorithm. And the last one, last but not least, we have a tree here. The tree basically says, what's the question? Print the following tree in alphabetical order, okay? And to be clear, alphabetical order is from A to Z, okay?
I don't know.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page here.
There's no Z.
We need explained, Alex.
I don't know about that clarification.
What's that? I heard a question. Amelia, was that
A
you?
to Z.
There's no Z. There's no Z. But
Since when? Since when was that alphabetical order?
I don't speak English.
okay. Well, I speak German. I speak German here.
A to
All
Z.
right. Awesome. So that's it, right? It's not that big of a deal. We'll be done by 12, right?
What? I'm sorry? I'm starting at 10.
With my internet, I'm not sure anymore.
The internet. Oh, but we don't need the internet too much for it, right?
Yeah, but I even cannot load anything from Canvas.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Canvas is just really slow right now.
My Canvas is super slow right now.
Yeah, I think like everybody in the world is probably using Canvas right now. That's my assumption.
Like, everything else is running fine, and I just try to log into Canvas, and it's taking like 10 minutes just for the thing to log in.
Yeah, that's my assumption. But most of the questions doesn't need Canvas. I think only 2 or 3 need Canvas. So the big part is going to be to clone and to put our solutions in there, which is the tangent for the next, our segue into that part now. Any questions before we move on to GitHub?
Alex, are the questions somewhere else besides Canvas? Because I'm getting
yes, they're on.
error.
They're on. Let me just lock it out. Slacks back.
Alex, we need the extension.
You could write you could write extensions. If you need extensions, you could write extensions in your solution. You could extend any object you want.
Oh, is that the extension she was talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what she meant. That's absolutely what she meant.
No, it's
You could write any extension on any object. No problem. Okay. Got Luba today. Got Luba. Okay, so Majid, I slacked it out on Slack. Were you able to open it?
I'm opening it right now. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Awesome. So at this point, we all should now be on the repo link because we're about to clone to our desktops. So let's go through that together.
That's the one we opened before, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Antonio, at this point, you could Slack out your GitHub username. So I'll Slack mine out.
right.
Alex Paul GitHub username is Alex Paul. Is everybody on the repo currently?
Yeah, I am.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and clone it. So I'll clone.
Alex, I joined the call a little late. When is this due? By the end of today, or?
Tomorrow 10 a.m. I think Canvas is updated as well to reflect that. So tomorrow 10 a.m.
Right.
Cool. Again, we're all doing our best, but I don't want us to be overwhelmed by this. Do your best. If you find resources, please be able to explain it before you put it in. I'd rather you put something blank as opposed to putting like a solution that you cannot explain, if that makes sense.
Wait, don't we need to fork it first? Or?
No need to fork it, just clone it. All right, so let's go through this together. Clone it, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I will go over to my terminal here somewhere.
Alex? Oh,
yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, okay, yeah, sorry, I have feedback. When I went to Canvas, it says 504 bad gateway. It's not
Refresh now, because I gave access to everybody, and I confirmed that some people were able to see it. So just refresh on that same page.
No, it's Canvas in general.
Oh, Canvas now has a 404.
504.
504, server is down. Okay, that we cannot solve, but for now we could handle what we could handle as far as like the GitHub is concerned.
So you want us to fork it and then clone it and then?
I don't think we need to fork. Just clone.
Too late.
Cloning is just fine.
If you forked already, that's fine.
If we just clone it, oh well, just cloning it won't make any differences on your stuff yet, right?
Nah, I want us to clone it, remove the get history, and push it to our own GitHub.
Okay, so.
So first step is to copy the clone, copy the link to the repo, and go to terminal, and then we'll continue together. If we go ahead, let's just go ahead together. Like if you advance, that's fine, but let's just try to do it together.
Alex, I might need to. I mean, I'm recording and like taking notes, but I might need help later because my Canvas isn't working.
Does your Slack work?
My Slack does work.
Okay, click on the link. The repo link I slacked out. Are you able to open it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we're working right now. We're not working on Canvas right now.
Okay.
All right, so make sure you could open it, and we're about to clone to our desktop. All right, cool. So let's continue. Is everybody in the terminal?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so at this point, we'll just say get clone the project.
Mm-hmm.
Get clone the project, press enter. And now navigate to the project. I'm gonna CD into Pursuit Core, iOS, DSA assessment. So CD into the DSA assessment. Chelsea, are you in the DSA assessment?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
What is it called?
Did you clone it?
Core, yeah.
Okay.
See. Alrighty. Oh, it's
Antonio, do you know Aaron's? If you know Aaron's too, you could drop it in there. I think it's like Aaron Cab or something.
All right, we'll do.
But double check it. Yeah. Thanks, bud. Are we all good? We all on the same page here? Stop me if we're not. Okay, cool. So I'll do an ls-a. What does ls-a do again?
Process all the hidden files.
Yeah, it shows all the hidden files. Very good. And at this point, I have a .get. We all should have a .get because we just cloned. Correct?
Yep.
Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the .get. We're going to remove the history of get here. So we'll do rm-rf.
What did you do before? You haven't done anything before. It's just rm-rf, right?
Yeah, rm space -rf .get to remove the .get. Yes?
Yes. It says illegal option. Okay.
Tiffany?
RM-
the first thing we did was to see if indeed, just to verify that we have a .get, right? We did ls-a, correct?
Okay.
It showed me I have a .get. Now I want to remove the .get, and I do rm space -rf.get. At this point, I press enter.
Is it space.get?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear the space part.
At this point, I do ls space -a again, and I should not see the .get, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. So what are we doing now? We're gonna recreate the Git history. How do we recreate a Git, or how do we create a Git?
Getting it.
Getting it. Awesome. So we do getting it. And then we do get status. Right? There's a lot of things that we need to add. All those files we need to add. So we'll do a get add all. Get add space dot. So get add space dot. Press enter.
When we remove the Git history, we remove the Git history that
that pursuit has.
Okay, that's correct. And then when we add a new Git, then we could git commit to that clone.
Yes. Not even to that clone, but we're creating a new one and we're pushing a new one up to our own GitHub.
Let him on.
Well, all right, so get add everything and then get status. Everything now should be green. Get status. Okay. What's next?
Get commit.
Get commit. And here we could say added DSA files.
We haven't made a repo yet, right?
What's that?
We didn't make our own repos yet, right?
No, we haven't. That's the next step. Because now if we say get push, there's nothing to push to.
Okay.
Right? So that step we need to do now. So if we do get push, there's nothing to push to. So now we need to create a remote. Because you cannot push to emptiness, you have to push to a remote link. So let's go ahead and do so. Did everybody get up to get commit?
Alex.
Yes, sir.
I hit something by accident and now I'm getting a dequote sign. Do you know what that does?
A what sign?
Dequote.
Dequotes? Do me a favor, Control C.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, cool. Is everybody up to get commit?
Yeah.
Yes? Thumbs up? All right.
Yep.
All right, cool. Let us now, let me get a repo. So now let's go to our GitHub and create a repo. I'll go to my GitHub here, GitHub, and I'll create a repo. So everybody now navigate to your GitHub account. Go to create a new repo, right by your profile photo, click on the drop arrow, click on new repository.
Oh,
Yeah?
so you want to make the, okay.
We have to make a new repo now because we do not have an existing repo. We need to push to an existing repo. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So
This
new
is the thing that we did before for the playground.
Yeah, on Friday, exactly. Anytime you're not doing a repo push in Xcode, this is like the way you do it. You create a repo, then you push whatever contents you want, whether it be a playgrounds or a simple notes file, whatever it is. So now I want to give the repo a name. Let's just keep consistent here with the name.
Pursuit core.
Let's make it simple, actually. Let's just call it CTA. DSA CTA, yeah. DSA CTA, something like that. Or pursue DSA CTA, pursue CTA, whatever. That's fine. DSA CTA, everybody?
Yep.
Yep. So you could give it a description, but the key here, we want to make it private.
Oh, after you've made it public, is it possible to change it to private?
Madam, why are you so fast? Let's stick together here. We're family. We're family, right?
Yeah.
Why are you running away from us? Yeah, you can make it private later. But let's stick together, right? Okay, so here you give it the repo name, you made it private. You don't click on the README. The only thing we click on now is create repository. So click on that. And now you want to copy the link or the line that says get remote, copy that. Copy, get remote, add that whole line here. And now let's navigate back to terminal. So go back to terminal somewhere, and paste the link in. Press enter. and get push dash u origin master, right? Same as what we have here. So now we want to go ahead and create an upstream, and it's going to be master. So get push dash u upstream or set origin master, press enter, and now it pushes my code to master, or the questions to master, because we don't have an Xcode project yet. Okay, cool. So if we go back to our repository, we click Command R, we now have the questions and the README as we had before. Before I continue, I want to confirm that everybody has this.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Great. So at this point, we want to create some sort of Xcode project or playground. For the purposes of this, a playground is good. And for Matt's question, that's going to be perfect because we'll be able to show again what we did last week as far as like creating different playground pages is concerned. So now let's go back to, let's go to our repo, or not even our repo, that's fine. Just go to Xcode, open up Xcode, open up Xcode. This is not the project I want. Click on File, New Playground, and let's all follow along here. Don't run ahead of us. So New Playground. It's a blank playground. I click Next. And here, be careful. It could go to autosave here. That's not where I want it to go, right? I want to make sure I'm looking for the project. In that case, wherever you saved, wherever you did the get clone earlier, wherever the project is, that's where you want to save the playground. Everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm going to click on the folder where I cloned that folder. I want to save my playground inside that folder. Everybody with me? All right. We could give the playground a name. I could call it DSA CTA. That's fine. Please, please, please make sure you save in this playground inside the folder we're working with currently. Inside of that folder, inside of that repo we cloned. Before I move on, I want to make sure everybody's saving that there.
Inside of the specific folder or inside of the folder that's hosting that folder?
The one that's hosting it.
Okay, yeah.
That's fine. You don't need to go deeper levels than that.
Awesome.
So far, so good. Yes?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So go ahead and click on Create. And now we have our playground opened. Great. Let's open up the left panel. Do you see where my mouse is currently on the navigators at the top right? It has 3 navigators there. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Click on the first navigator. It's going to open up the left drawer or the left panel. Right? So far, so good. All right. On the top where it says DSA CTA, right click on it. On the top where it says DSA CTA, right click on it. And click on New Playground Page. Click on New Playground Page. By accident, it created an extra one. That's fine. We could always rename them. Currently, mine says Untitled Page 2. I'll rename that to say Question 1.
Oh, it's not just yours. It's Xcode. Xcode is bugging out.
Yeah, but we could rename them. That's fine. We could rename, we could delete, we could do other things. So Question 1, I don't have any untitled page here. I'll just delete this. Move to trash. So currently I have one page. It's called Question 1. I could edit that. I could say Question 1. Now I could go over to my repo and grab Question 1. This is Question 1 here on my repo. I could grab this entire thing here. Grab Question 1, go back to Question 1, paste it in. This also needs to be commented out. This is not code. So this is Question 1 here. And now I'll show us how to push it. And then at that point, we are good. So anytime I want to create a new page, I right click on DSA, the top level here, go to new page, create a new page, add my question, and so forth. Matt?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Awesome. So at this point, I want to push, right? So I'm not pushing from Xcode. I'm going back to terminal. I'm going to do get, yes?
Because, okay, I'm looking at mine. Hold on. I'm trying to. When I click on question 1, it doesn't get, it just says hello playground. That's what it doesn't give me all of that extra stuff that it had.
You mean this question?
You copy and pasted it in.
We copy and pasted it.
No, I get that, but it's only because I remember the last time that we did it, it had like some other code.
It does. Like if I create a new one, I know what you're talking about, like a page, right? So if I create a new page here, this is what you're talking about?
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah, when you create a new page, you get it.
But I don't see that on mine no more.
It's not a deal breaker if it doesn't show up on yours.
Okay.
Just make sure you're creating the page correctly and you're able to, let's test out a simple print statement here. So print happy
And
Monday.
sources and resources are supposed to be empty.
Yeah, for now, because you're not creating sources, or if you want a shared file across all your pages, you could have, for example, if I have a queue, I want to share across my pages, I could have a public queue in the sources.
Oh, okay.
And if I have an image, yeah, if I have an image, I could put it in resources. So there's no assets folder, but there's a resources folder.
Nice.
All right.
And then for each question, we'll just copy and paste it. And then when we're finished, we just push this to our GitHub.
Exactly, which is what we're going to do now. Okay. So I want to make sure we could all do it together. So now let's navigate to terminal. Navigate to terminal. We added a lot of things here. If I do get status, I should see at least my playground in there. So do get status. We should now see playground. If we don't see playground, there's a problem.
Wait, inside of the Pursue core?
Yeah, inside of the repo we've been working with from the morning.
That's what my question was. Is it supposed to go where it's hosting it? Because
Yes.
I have mine in my Unit 5 apps.
Oh, I thought your question was, can I put it in that top level folder? Yes.
Okay, so I could just move it manually, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so let me just do.
Does everybody see playgrounds red in their get status?
Yep.
Greg?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I don't see it red. It's actually, mine says nothing to commit, working tree clean.
Okay, so that means, do me a favor, do ls and let me know what you have in there. Like just do ls.
I have all my questions, like from 1 to 9.
Okay.
And without the git, like, because we deleted it. So it's just.
Oh, you haven't created the git and you haven't pushed.
I did push, and I created the git and I removed it. Like, remember how you showed us to remove it?
Right.
So I removed it. So now I have it just like you right now.
If you do ls-a, do you have a .get?
Yes.
And if you do get push, what does it say?
Everything up to date.
If go to your repo and confirm that you see the questions on your repo.
Question.
1 second.
Sorry.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, but you just don't have the playground in there, correct?
On my repo?
In terminal.
In terminal, no. For some reason, I don't know.
I think when you did the step of saving, did you click the folder to save your playground in it?
The folder?
Yeah, like
my desktop, not the folder.
Oh yeah, not the desktop. It needs to go inside the folder.
Oh.
So you could do one thing. You could close. You could just close Xcode, and then drag that playgrounds into the repo folder.
Okay.
When you finish doing that, come back to terminal.
Okay.
And then if you do get status, you should see the playgrounds then.
Okay, and it's only the playground. Like, even though we did different files, it'll just be the playground.
Yeah, that's the only thing we've been working with, right? So anything with Xcode, like in our case, this is actually the playgrounds file itself, that's Swift there, and everything associated with the playground.
Okay. Okay, so then it has the new file, the question 1, and the contents, right?
Exactly, exactly. Lilia, how you doing?
I'm still looking. So I'm on my desktop. I'm just looking for the folder. Where is that folder? Sorry.
Did you clone it to desktop?
Yeah.
It's called Pursuit iOS. Pursuit iOS DSA.
Oh, I got it. I see
Alright,
it.
awesome. So drag the playgrounds in there.
Mhm.
All right, cool.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so I was kind of behind because I had to remake my playground, but I only have one new file. Is that okay? Because I thought I was supposed to delete the untitled page that came up because it was giving me an error. It said like content file not found.
So right now, let's take a look at it. Let me just delete this. We don't need that here. You in your playgrounds right now, correct?
Yeah.
How many pages do you have? Do you have the question one? I'm sorry?
Just one.
Okay, that's fine. So as you go into the questions, you just create new pages.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Is anybody else, we want to make sure we're all together as we continue. Lilia, were you able to come back to terminal?
Yeah, I dragged it into my folder. Now I did git status on my terminal, and it says DSA CTA Playground in red. So it's
Okay, good. So you should be good now.
Mhm.
So yeah, you have like the same screen like we have right now, almost.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So at this point, what are we doing here? We want to do get add everything. So we want to add everything, right? Get add space dot. Press enter. What's next?
Get commit.
Get commit. And a good commit message would be, not that. What's that?
Added question one.
Added question one is good.
I'm unsatisfied by the request.
No, it's good. It's good. Added question one is good. And then what? We just push. Because we have a remote already. So now we just push. And finally, we want to confirm that we do have our playgrounds on our repo. So after it pushed, or after it pushes, go to your repo. Make sure it's private, by the way. Wherever your name / repo, make sure it's private. Is it private for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everybody now should have a DSA playground there.
Yeah.
If I click on it, click on contents or content pages.
I have a problem.
Actually, pages is fine. Yeah, go ahead.
It says changes to commit. It says get reset head. I have to do that because I had to add my file afterward. Like I didn't put it in the file originally. So I put get status, get push. It shows me when I put get push, it set everything up to date. And then it says on branch master, your branch is up to date with origin master, changes to be committed, which is the playground. It said,
did you do get add, get commit, and all that?
I did get add.
Get add, get commit, get push.
See, let me, I don't think I did. Daddy.
Oh, what's that, Oscar music? Should I wrap up? All right, so, okay, so click on DSA Playground, click on DSA Playground, click on question one, click on contents, and you should see now the contents of question one. Everybody confirm that?
Yes, I think it's because I didn't commit.
All right, remember committed, right?
Yes, I'm gonna try it right now.
Okay, cool. Any questions? So basically we set up at this point, almost, we gotta add collaborators.
Works.
All right, so cool. So last step, let's go ahead and add collaborators. So let's go to settings. Everybody on the repo?
Yes.
So click on settings. Do we see settings here at the top right?
Yes.
Click on settings.
Wait. Go to the repository.
Where am I?
And you click on the repository.
I'm on the repository.
Yes, and then we go to settings, and then we go to manage.
Why am I not seeing manage here? Manage access.
Manage access.
Okay, and then invite collaborators. Everybody sees invite collaborators?
Yeah.
Click on that. And here you want to put names in. What's Antonio's?
Alex Paul.
Mr. Antonio.
Antonio Flores.
So here you want to put, come on.
Yeah. Antonio Flores 1.
So here, yeah, you want to start putting names in. So Antonio.
And Aaron, CA something. CA.
Okay, Antonio here.
Yeah, got him.
Antonio, and then you could add more, add Antonio, and so forth. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Right, so you're adding the three of us here. Antonio, Aaron, and Mr. Paul. Cool?
Yes.
Any questions with all the setup work we just did? We know the questions we have to work on. Some of them we have to go to Canvas to put the answers in. What questions actually, just to make sure we're on board here? There's 2 questions or 3 questions. Antonio, can you remember offhand?
Sorry, say that one more time.
There's 2 questions we have to paste into Canvas. The sorting one and the big O, right?
Yeah.
I think there are 3 questions.
Whenever my
7,
Canvas.
8, and 9.
7, 8, and 9. Okay, so you let us a 7, 8, and 9. Just double check as you guys go in there. So 3 questions, and the rest we do them in Xcode, right? So Canvas is slow. Don't let that be. You could do the questions in Xcode, and when Canvas decides to show up, you could just paste them in there. And when you're done with everything, we have a link, right? Just like submit your link in. Cool?
True that, yes.
Any questions before we depart? We kept it under an hour. That's good. So Luba is not going to be like, oh, we took half the day. Right, Luba?
Yes. I can't
Alex.
find Aaron. I can't find Aaron.
You can't find Aaron? He left us already. That's what it is.
Aaron.
Let's see. Invite collaborator. If I type in Aaron Cab. And Aaron is here. He's around. That's Aaron right here.
I found like 2 of you, but this one is not showing up.
Yeah. Type in Aaron, 2 A's, RON, CAB. Any other questions? I had your other question?
No, I was just saying. I forgot what I was saying actually. Sorry.
Well, Alex,
you could come back if you. Yes, sir.
do we paste the link or do we write all the answers on Canvas?
There's only 2 questions you put into Canvas, right? Or 3 questions. Apart from that, your link is good for Xcode for Playgrounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gateway. Canvas has serious issues. If by the time you're ready to complete, Canvas is still down, just put your answers. I mean, minus the sorting problem. You're not going to be able to see visually. You know what? We're going to paste it. Oh, a screenshot. Ooh, who took a screenshot? We'll paste it in. We'll paste it into the channel. All right. Everybody with me? So the big O question, we have that, right? The sorting question, we're going to paste the image into Canvas, into Slack. And what's the other one? There was a 3rd question. Yulia, do you remember the 3rd question?
1 second, just opening.
I didn't paste all my questions yet. I have them somewhere. Solutions.
That's the one with the stack.
Oh, I do apologize. Maybe it's not actually submit repo link. Okay.
Yeah, the last one is submit repo link. That's it. So
Okay.
it's only 2 questions and then the submit repo link.
All right, so it's just 2 questions.
Yeah, 9 as well as in background.
Okay, cool. So everything else, we could do everything in Xcode. We're gonna Slack out the images for those sorting questions, all right?
And then we submit as usual, right? On Canvas.
Yeah. I think we good, right? Everything, there's no ambiguity here with what we're doing.
Real quick. So since it's due 24 hours later, does that mean we're not having lecture until after 12, or like are we meeting?
We don't have a lecture tomorrow. We're gonna definitely meet at 10 a.m. just to like meet and greet, right? But for the day, we're gonna be going through Repo. Like tomorrow, the setup is like Repo. The first half of, so to reiterate what we're gonna do tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, each of the instruction team members will be setting up a Zoom call with you to go through the questions you did today and also to give you a new question on Repo.
Okay.
Cool. So there's no lecture. It's just like, hello, how you doing? How is everything? Meet and greet in the morning. We don't want to not start. We don't want to stop doing that because you know what happens. Once you stop something, it's hard to get it back. So we'll see everybody tomorrow at 10. Cool? We good? We got this.
Later.
Later. You see Tiffany's out already. She's on question 5.
Hi, everybody. I'm weak.
All right, bye-bye. And like that, I froze. That's good timing, actually.
Fun.
Bye,
Alex?
take care. Yeah, I'm here.
Bye.
I have a question about one of the questions.
Yes, yes.
So for question, is it 2? Yeah. So 2 does the output that you return has to be sorted?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't say that, but it would fail if it was an assert. But if you just return it 3-1, I think we'll give you credit for that because it doesn't explicitly say it should be sorted.
So it doesn't have to be sorted, right? It just
ideally it should be sorted, but because it's 1-3 return there.
Yeah, but like, because your solution must work in O of n time and stuff.
Yeah, in
If
that
I
case, it would be n log n, right? So just don't return it sorted.
Okay, thank you.
All right, cool. There's no asserts. Yeah, cool. Any other questions?
Nope. Catch you later.
Catch you later. Have fun.
Yeah, I'll try.
It's gonna be fine. Have fun. Code is fun.
It is fun, but sometimes it kicks my butt.
Yeah, that's why we love it.
It's fun when it's working.
When it's working, that's like the icing, man. The fun is solving the problem.
Yeah, I think you're a masochist. You like the pain.
Did you say a masochist?
A masochist. That's
a masochist.
I'm saying masochist. What is that, like a rapper?
Master P. Oh, that was a rapper, right? Master P. Remember him? You guys too young to remember Master P.
No, I know Master P is.
No, I know Master P.
Let me find out. Alex, you says listen to Master P.
There was a time. What do you mean? What do you think I am? Think of a guy who doesn't have to get entertained.
No, what was this? It was a trill. No, oh man.
Oh man.
What a grunt, baby. All right, bye.
Bye. Enjoy.